Considering that you invested a few months of your life, talent, and energy in this project, how does this affect you? Like opening night, a few hours before the opening, and the good reviews. How do you feel about it?
Well, you know, we had a premiere, was it last night? 2 nights ago. And a big screening with all of our friends there, but it was a big deal. I hadn't been to one of my own openings in a long time. And it was just such a lovely feeling there. You know, people were very generous about the film, and you could feel that it was playing well. I hadn't seen it with an audience before, although I'd seen it many times in the editing process. It was just a great feeling that it was communicating. One never knows if a film is going to communicate. You know, the initial thing was I liked the relationship between the lawyer and the boy. That was the whole movie to me was really there. You had to make that work. And you've seen the film, so you know. That dynamic has to be just right. And you have to find exactly the right level of playing that. And the kind of symbiotic nature between an authority figure and a subservient figure, you know, like a doctor and a patient and a lawyer-client. Interesting relationships and how they shift, change. I also was really interested in the idea that we probably will never, ever truly know anybody else, no matter how close we are to them. There's always going to be surprises there. And I think also, like the first scene in the movie, that's the nature of truth. You know, it's the question of masks, the question of projection, the question of reality itself being represented by the courtroom, and the fact that truth has no definitive reality, but is a relative construct based on belief. Well, it's a peculiar thing with this character because the dramaturgy is slightly different than what one would normally find. Is that in the process of this film, he starts to care. The first scene he has with his kid, he says, look, I don't care if you did it or not. I don't have to believe you because I don't care. You know, I'll get you off. We're going to win this case. But, you know, guilt or innocence is of no issue to me whatsoever. He does start to believe that the kid's innocent and actually precipitates his own downfall by that decision. Interesting part of this dramaturgy is when he starts to feel, starts to care, is when things start to go very badly for him. Oh, no question about it. And he defines that. What gives import to his own version of the truth is if he can convince 12 people of a jury of that same truth. And it's like a local deity, you know, he's the local deity of the courtroom. He controls the elements of reality, the elements of truth. Well, I don't think that's ever changed. You know, I don't think it's that it's a dinosaur. I think that there is no definitive truth or reality in any case. There never was and there never will be. It's all a relative construct. And in that way, I think it corresponds to reality as we live it. And if we can see it that way, I think we can see it for the true institution it is. We can see ourselves in that environment. Now, there's enormous amount of pressure on the virginity, the kind of ethic, moral, psychological virginity of a jury. And unfortunately, because of the cameras, you know, they've lost their virginity now. And I think that's the problem with our judicial process. Yeah, unfortunately, yeah. I think all of this should be banned from the courtroom, and I think people who are not professionals, a jury is made up of hopefully simple people who have no axe to grind, straightforward, honest people. If they're left to their own devices, can make a good decision, but with this kind of focus of media, of television, of journalists, of all of that, it's very hard for any of us to be rational and truthful and make heartfelt decisions. No, I don't particularly find pure villains that interesting. Darkness for darkness' sake doesn't interest me. I like to play characters who are part white and part black, part good, part evil. You know, I mean, I think Martin Vale is like that. These characters interest me because they correspond to my own experience of reality, of myself, of you, and everyone else in this room.